Good morning, all. Thanks for joining. I'm sharing my screen. Please confirm. Is my screen is
It's with
visible?
yes.
Right. So today we are going to talk about EC2 network and security concept. In previous session, we discussed about elastic block storage. So anybody have any questions in EBS? No question. Thank you. So today topic is network and security. So guys, when you're working in real-time environment, any administration, IT technology like Linux administration, Windows administration, storage, backup, any IT-related administration technology, you must and should understand networking and security. That's a very, very important. Yes, uh, you know, right? Recently, last 2 days, yesterday and day before yesterday, I don't want to reveal the company names. Few pharma companies' servers are hacked. Have you heard the name? Have you heard the information? Pharma company servers are hacked. So to unlock the particular system, the hacker demanding the um, what do you call the bitcoins, 6,000, almost 6,000 bitcoins, 6,000 bitcoins. Do you know one bitcoin cost today? Any idea? 24
It's
some
somewhere
lakh.
around 20,000.
No, 24 lakhs, brother. 24 lakhs. One Bitcoin cost is 24 lakhs. If a 6,000, so this is a huge amount they'll be asking. Okay. So you have to give the very importance, okay, highest importance to the network and security. Then only our data will be very safe. Otherwise, no. So the first one is security groups. So the name security group maybe is a trending name in AWS, but in normal layman terminology, we call it as firewall. Guys, you know, right? Firewall. So, what is the use of firewall? It acts as a wall between a public network and private network. It acts as a wall between public network and private network, unsecure network and secure network. It's a wall. So, this wall has a very tight security. Only it will allow a specific port numbers if you are configured. So either incoming traffic, either outgoing traffic, both can be manageable with the help of security group. By default, every region it has one security group will be available. That is called default security group. So don't confuse every region. The security group name is default and all the regions security group is same. No, every region it has a default security group is there. It is a dedicated security group for only particular region. It's not for other regions. But the by default security group, inbound rule, outbound rule are available. Okay, see here, inbound rule, outbound rule. Mostly in real-time environment, we are not entertained to use a default security group. We will be creating custom security group. That's a custom firewalls based on your requirement. The requirement is nothing but whatever the servers, applications, services you're running inside the EC2 and other services, if you're configuring the security group, only the related protocols will be allowed particular network. That is we called as security group. Going forward, we will detailed information about the security group, we will be creating a new security group for the various services like RDS, VPC, VPN, and AWS services and the DevOps services we will be configuring and we will allowing the communication. So as of now, everybody know about it. You know how to create a Windows server, you know how to create Linux server, you know how to install the web services, and how you can allow the connections for HTTP like a 80, RDP 3389, SSH 22. You know how to release these particular ports in incoming role. Anybody have any questions here about incoming rule, adding and modifying, removing?
Sorry, sir. Maybe I'm missing some class. Did we cover this previously?
No, we covered the topic like if you're creating EC2 instances, when you're connecting RDP, that time we'll come here and we'll enable the RDP port number. I hope so that is covered. When we're creating the Linux machine to connect through PuTTY, port number 22, we have added here. That we covered already. When we install the web services on the EC2 instances to access the web page, port number 80, we come here and we enabled it. These topics already completed with the help of EC2 instance creation itself. Can you please confirm, Raja?
Yeah, yes, Rajesh, we did.
Yeah, we completed, right? So
Okay.
please, you can revision those videos. You will get more idea about it. Okay, I
Def-
don't want to repeat those concepts unnecessarily. Okay, so here I'm targeting that concept of what is a security group. I'm explaining here. Okay, coming back, elastic IP address. Hey, what is meaning of elastic IP address? Normally, there are two types of IP address we have found in the EC2. What are those two IP address? Anybody can tell me? What are the two IP address we can found in the EC2 instance?
Public and private.
Public and private. So public IP address will be provided by Amazon. Private IP address will be provided for Amazon, but private IP address there is no charges. Anytime you can use freely. Okay, class A, class B, class C. We have some range will be there. That IP address we can say private IP address range. You can see, guys. You can see here. This is a private IP address range. This is a public IP address range. So you don't want to remember public IP address range. At least you remember private IP address. So you can see here in the instance 172.31.43 is there. 172.31 means this is the class B IP address. Hmm? Understood? So private IP address means within the network only we can communicate each other. That is called private IP address, or also we call it as LAN IP address. LAN IP address is nothing but local area network. Let me draw some small picture so that you can understand. So first you need to understand what is meaning of LAN. This is the office or building or floor. Okay. Suppose this is a computer. Okay, this is a server. Once we have placed these servers in the particular floor as room or whatever it is, the systems needs to communicate to each other. Then only the communication process will start. We have maintain a switch, okay, switch and Wi-Fi router. So some devices will connected with a wire. Some devices they'll connect with a some devices they'll connect with a wireless. So this is a wired connection, this is a wireless connection. They'll be getting connected. So within this LAN network, whatever the IP address we have providing to the system, private IP address. So only you need to provide this range. So guys, for your understand purpose, everybody can go to in your system, go to CMD, okay, type IP config, and you can check what is IP address range of your system. Please check. Please check and let me know. Everybody go to command prompt and you can check IP config and
Yeah, IPv4 address is 192.68.1.44.
192.168, not 68. Please check.
Yeah, 168.
Yeah. So definitely everybody, the system will be either 10 series, either 172.16 series, either 192.168 series. Only these three series will be available. Understand? So that is a by default nature. So who will provided this IP address means? So everybody in your home, you are using Wi-Fi router. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Wi-Fi router is provided this IP address because you are connected internally. Your home, your home, your house is a LAN. Your house is a LAN. Okay. Suppose you are accessing internet. So that is a public IP address. So the public IP address will be provided by the public IP address will be provided by a network service provider, your internet service provider. So definitely that public IP address will be within this range. So how to check public IP address? How to check public IP address? Very simple. Go to browser. What is my IP? Just browse it. You'll get it. 122.175.36.130. This is 122 means I'm in right now class A public range. I don't want any class A, class B like that. I don't have any problem in that. Any IP address will be okay. But that IP address will be provided by internet service provider. With that internet service provider only, I'm able to access internet connection. I'm able to access internet connection. Any other question? Fine. So this public IP is a private IP address. Private IP is a free of cost. A public IP address will be paid one. So AWS is providing by default public IP address for the instance is a free, no charges. But one thing you need to note down, right now this instance is running. This is a public IP address. Okay. This is the public IP address. Okay. I'm going to shut down this machine. I'm going to stop this machine. Okay. You can see here, once the machine is stopped, what will happen? See here, the instance is shut down. The instance is shut down. Once the instance is shut down, the private IP address is available, but the public IP address is removed from the server. Okay. So this public IP address list will be maintained by AWS. Only this IP address will be provided during the power on. Okay. So now I'll start this instance. Again, public IP address will come. So why these changes will be doing like this? So worldwide, many customers are there. If the people are creating instances, I'll be shutting down. If that public IP address is assigned to those missions, if you're not using, what is the use? Am I correct? So AWS will be bearing all the charges for public IP address. They will not do that business. So whenever the machine is powered on, only the powered on machines only the public IP address they'll provide. Once it is powered off, it will take back. So this is called dynamic public IP address. This concept is called as dynamic public IP address. That means whenever you powered on, then only you'll get. When you power off, that IP address will be taken back by AWS. You can see that. Now again we got it. See, previously one IP address it is there. Now again one more IP address. So every time when you shut down, when you power on, shut down and power on, you'll get a new IP address will get generated. You cannot predict what is the next IP address. You cannot predict what is the next IP address. Based on the availability IP address in the pool, it will randomly assigning. It's randomly assigning. Suppose sometimes your server will be communicated by users or maybe service endpoints with the public IP address instead of private IP address. Okay, so let's understand the scenario. You're connecting this server with the help of public IP address instead of private IP address because of we are connecting externally, we are integrating the services to some other area. Okay, so this public IP address only we provided. So maybe due to maintenance, if you shut down the server and power it on back, IP address will change. So whatever the IP address previously given to the endpoints, they're trying to connect, but after shutdown and power on, the IP address is changed. Okay, so the communication is lost. Again, the administrator need to change in all the endpoints, whoever connected with the public IP address to the server, and all the areas we need to change. It's a very difficult process. So you want to set this IP address permanently for this server, you can use the concept called elastic IPs. Elastic IPs. This is not a free, it's a paid one. Elastic IPs are paid services, not a free services. So first I'll show you how to create and how to allocate, then I'll go for a pricing model. Click allocate elastic IP address. In which region you need to select. Right now you are in Mumbai. Mumbai means AP South 1. Automatically will be selecting. And now allocate. So one IP address is allocated. See, this is the IP address is allocated by AWS. Okay. Now this IP address is not used by any endpoint. Select this IP address, go to action, associate IP address, instance, Mumbai W16 web. That's it. Now click associate. See here, the IP address is assigned to the particular instance. The IP address is assigned to the particular IP address is assigned to the instance. So whatever the IP address assigned now, previously this IP address is there. it will be changed to this. You can see here. Refresh. See, 13, 232, 182, 239. This IP address is changed. Now I'm going to shut down this server. Stop the server. Now I'm selecting the server. See, this IP address is not removed. So whatever the elastic IP address assigned to the system, the same IP address, even turned off also, it will be strict. This is called elastic IP address. When you power on, it continues with the same IP address again. It will not change. This is called elastic IP address. Understand, right? Let's go to talk about that elastic IP address pricing. AWS elastic IP address pricing. Sorry. You can see this elastic IP address. Charges will be like this. So this will be based on the charges of the instances. Okay. So now you can see this complete the elastic IP address rules and regulations. Okay. So you know how to assign the IP addresses here. So now go to the some important topics about elastic IP address pricing. Example, if our elastic IP address will be assigned to you, the particular instance, per monthly charges they'll be applicable. That means per hour the charges will be applicable. Some XYZ. If the data transfer need a more, so if a high speed data transfer, if you are applying that, additional charges will be applicable. If IP address is assigned to the system, it is not turned on, idle charges also will be applicable. So maybe usage charges is high, idle charges will be less. So definitely once you created IP address from the pool, okay, so that will be a accepted immediate changes, the charges will be applicable. Suppose I'll show you in the bill, in the billing dashboard. So free tier limitation. See here, AWS data transfer also, they should be have some kind of limit will be there. 100 GB per month. If you cross it, definitely will be chargeable. So Elastic IP is then created this month. So that's why. So almost 2 days 30th, right? So I didn't have any updated in this. If I'm using this, definitely charges will be showing here. 1 minute. I'll show the old bill so that we can easily understand. This is present month bill. I'm going to January month bill. January month bill is $1, $1.50 approximately. I'll go with the February month bill. February month bill is a $78. I think Elastic IP address, they're not used. Okay, if they're using, there'll be charges will be applicable here. Okay, I think the charges is not there. Good. So my point of view, when you created any EC2 services, if you want to check that Elastic IP address, okay, so you can immediately create a Elastic IP address and you can understand the concept, immediately you can delete it. Okay, so don't keep on using this IP address. If more than one day, the charges will be applicable. Please release the IP address from the instance. See, so we cannot be removed it. What is the reason? What is the reason? See, these are
Instance is up. Probably we have to shut down the
instance
Instance is running, right?
instance is running, right? So first of all, before you release the IP address, there is an option called deassociate Elastic IP address. First deassociate, then release IP address. That's it. Okay. First deassociate, then release IP address. Now can go back to the instance, select the server. Sorry. Refresh. Now the IP address is changed. Understand? This is a use of Elastic IP address, not only for EC2 instances, many areas we will use. Going forward in the network concept, we will discuss that. Next, placement groups. Okay, placement groups. Hey, what is meaning of placement group? What is meaning of placement group? Create a placement group with different plans are available. Clustered, spread, partition. Okay. So AWS placement groups are three types. Okay. AWS placement groups are three types. One is cluster, spread, partition. So what is the use of these three types we are using in real-time environment? So let me explain the concept. So cluster. Cluster. So cluster is nothing but combination of same configured services in a group is called cluster. Example, here is a web server. The web server, it has the base operating system is same. Suppose example W16, and here web service is running. Here web app is running, some web app. So if the same configured servers, multiple system, if you're running here, okay, for grouping of all the servers in one group, we called as cluster. Okay, cluster.
So we can say group of machine.
Group of machines, yes, group of machines. But in a group of machines is a correct word, but not 100%. So what we call as group of instances, group of servers with the same configured application services. Okay. Maybe if here I'm using web app some XYZ, here I'm installing web app ABC, that's not correct, a cluster. Suppose if this is server is down, at least this server will up. If both our applications are same. If it's different application, what is the use? No use, right? That's the meaning. So packs instances close together inside availability zone. So in inside availability zone data center, work together in a closely manner. What is the achievement here? So if a huge load, okay, the load will be balanced between the servers and it maintain the low latency network and with the high performance with the tightly coupled node to node configurations. Mostly this type of information configuration we are using for high performance computing applications like SAP application, web app application, different applications we are maintaining. So we are using the cluster. Definitely we are using the clusters in real-time environment. Any other question? So what is the benefit if you're selecting the cluster while you're creating the instance? All the instances will be creating in single availability zone. So even it's a Mumbai 3 availability zones are there. If you're creating 3 servers, if you select the cluster, so normally if you're creating the servers multiple, so different level it will create, right? One server will be in availability zone A, one server will be in availability zone B, one server in availability zone C. Differently will be created, right? But here not like that. All the servers will be creating in single availability zone in the region. That's a concept of cluster in AWS EC2. So for your understand purpose, I'm going to take a small demo, EC2, instances, launch instances, launch instances. I'm going to web app. I'm going to click more AMIs. I think I'm selecting Amazon Linux 2023 retire. Scroll down. These all are default one, guys. No changes at all. These all are default options. I'm selecting go to advanced details. Here anybody here have any name called a placement group? Right. So do you have any placement group is created in your project? No. So what we need to do, I'm going to duplicate the window, EC2 in Mumbai region, in placement groups, create a group name is cluster for web app. So what is the strategy I'm selecting? Cluster and create it. Understand? Now refresh here. Now cluster web app is showing here. Now scroll down. That's it. I'm going to create a 3 missions. Launch instances. So basically, whatever the cluster I have selected, the free tier missions is not eligible to create it. We need to change the instance type somewhat high level. Guys, it will be chargeable. Immediately create and delete it. Okay? Immediately create and delete, please. I'm going to select this. Maybe it will work or not. Yeah. View all instances. Now 3 instances are creating. You can see this. All the 3 instances will be creating in single availability zone. All the 3 servers are creating in same data center or not?
Yes.
Yes. So what is the benefit? So for easy communicating to one server to another server. Okay. Any other questions?
Just one quick question. So, like if we create these instances like separately, cannot we choose the availability zone? So maybe we
Yes, we
can
can.
choose.
Good question. We can choose. That's every time manually we need to select it. Very tough, right? Okay. If you're creating a group, na, so immediately when you select a mission, we can add it to the particular group. It will go to that 1C or maybe 1B or 1A. Easy method, right?
Okay.
Uh, that's the reason we are creating it.
And for on-premise also, I think there are this concept of clustering, cluster group is there. Like,
That's different. That's different. But physically, we are adding the servers into the data center. Then logically, we are grouping. That's a different story. Okay.
okay,
But here
okay,
the concept is different.
okay.
So I'm going to delete the instance unless I don't want to power on. So next, create another group name called spread. So spread, what is meaning of spread? So spread means strictly places a small group of instances across distinct underlying hardware to reduce the correlated failures. So, guys, hypervisor concept. Huh? Suppose these 3 instances, okay, suppose these 3 instances will be running on this hypervisor. Okay. This instance will be created on this hypervisor, this also this, even this machine also created in the same hypervisor. But all the instances are in the same availability zone. All the instances also will be in the same hardware. Okay, suppose if this physical server is down, what is the impact? What is the impact? Anybody can tell me? If one server is down, all server will be down. What is the concept here?
Yeah, all server would be down.
All servers will be down. Is a big impact or not?
Yes.
Yes. So this is not a perfect process to place your servers in a particular availability zone. So what we need to do, so with the help of spread method, okay, we can select the there are two options will be there, a rack and a host. So rack means in the particular data center, there is a kind of iron rack will be there. Rack enclosure. I'll show you. So this is called rack enclosure. Okay, this is a rack enclosure. Do you know what is the cost? It is 2,33,000. Okay, so rack server. See here. This is a rack enclosure. These are the servers. Okay, I'm going to talk about this rack server. Okay, rack. So if the missions are creating, if the missions are creating in the particular availability zone, the missions should be created in a spread method. It should not be in single one location. It should be in a different rack. But really, we are unable to find out the server will be created in which rack. Just we can create, that's it. All the 3 servers will be creating in the same availability zone, but you don't know how to identify the servers creating it in the rack 1 or rack 2 or rack 3, rack 4. We don't know. Okay, because of it's a very highly confidential zone, right? The servers, physical server locations in the cloud, they're not mentioned that any information. But backend, the servers will be in a different hardware. The servers will be in different hardware. Any other question about the spread?
So in the different racks in the different hypervisor, correct, Rajesh?
If different rack means definitely different hypervisor. Different hypervisor means all are Zen hypervisor only, but different hardware.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
And one more method is there. That is a partition method. Similar concept of spread only. But we can create here spread is will be in a different, right? But we can create in a groups, subgroups. Few servers will be in one server, few servers will be in one server, few servers will be in one server, physical server will be maintained. So this is for better performance purpose we are using it, for high capacity applications, big data applications like Hadoop, Cassandra, Kafka. These are the servers they'll be using spread. So spread, okay, it's a kind of spread only. So partition means it spread your instances across logical partitions such as groups of your instances in one partition. Okay, example, if I'm giving one means one partition, maybe partition 1, partition 1, like that we can create up to 7 partitions you can create. So in one partition multiple servers, second partition multiple servers we can create. Again, we don't know where it will be created in the hardware, that we don't have any idea. That will be a very confidential information. Any other question? You have understand all the difference between cluster, partition, and spread?
So Rajesh, in the same partition, somebody else servers also will be involved, or it's dedicated?
Definitely. Maybe we don't know whose servers means. Maybe you
Yeah.
creating AWS account, we both are accessing the same Mumbai location means definitely the servers will be there. Okay. So complete data center is not mine, right? It's a shared one.
Yeah, I'm talking about this partition one. So
Yeah,
server
anything.
partition.
You can go with a
Okay.
partition or spread that cluster. You're not taking a dedicated server, right? So definitely there'll be a sharing only. Until unless you're purchasing the physical server in the cloud, they'll not give you. That'll be very huge cost. Here is a called dedicated host. No, if you purchase dedicated host, there'll be separate server they'll provide it. You can install your hypervisor, you can install your virtual machines, whatever it is. That's a very difficult process. Coming to the key pairs. Key pairs are nothing but password generated file for your instances based on your operating system model you can create. So algorithm method is a remote security access. By using this, you can extract the passwords. For Windows, you can directly extract the password from AWS console itself. For Linux machines, you can extract the password from PEM file to PPK with the help of putty keygen file that you know already. Okay. Coming to the network interfaces. So for every instance, example, right now, how many instances are running? One is running, one is stopped. That means only two instances. These two instances, if you want to communicate to the hypervisor in the data center, they have some network interfaces, network card. Every laptop has, every desktop has a network card is that similar kind. This is actually virtual network card. This is a virtual network card. Every instance we have one network card is there. With the help of network card only, it will be connected to VPC and we're able to get the internal and external communication. It's a virtual network interface. Maybe per server we can create a multiple network IDs. Yes, we can create. Multiple network interface you can create for single.
Rajesh, sorry, I'm not getting this. Like, what exactly network
Okay.
interfaces?
Okay. Example, you have a laptop or desktop, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to ncpa.cpl, these are the network adapters will be there. You have a physical adapter, you have a wireless adapter. Okay. If you go to Google, you have this port, right? Every laptop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the virtual machine? What about the virtual machine? So even this virtual machine needs to contact the hypervisor with the help of logical port
Mhm.
that is called the network interface.
Got it.
It's a virtual network interface. It's a software adapter.
Got it.
By default, one is there. If you want to can create additional one. What is the use of additional one? For load balancing. If you have a huge workload on the server, you cannot manage with a single. Okay, you cannot manage with a single adapter. You can create a more than one adapter, like a two adapters, four adapters, like that you can create.
But like the machine would be connected to one hypervisor only.
Definitely.
So like what's the use of like multiple network adapters
The
when
network adapter cost, the network adapter speed is 100 Mbps or 1 Gbps. If your load is more than 1 Gbps, one network adapter is not sufficient, right? We will create one adapter.
Okay.
In case of one network adapter is too busy, another network adapter will be handle the connections.
Got it.
Yeah. Any other question in the network and security? No? So in the next session, we will discuss about load balancing. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Rajesh, maybe we can stop the recording. I have just one question.
Yeah.
So, like when you're explaining